Hi, I'm Michelle with the Customer Support Group, and today we're going to talk about the gotchas that can happen with some of those convenience checks that we all like to use. So convenience checks can be a great way to transfer a balance from a high interest rate credit card to a low or 0% interest rate credit card for a specified amount of time, say 6 months to a year. And it can be a way to save you hundreds of dollars in interest. But if you don't know a few of the little gotchas, then it can just as easily cost you a few hundreds of dollars. So the most important thing to know about convenience checks when you're transferring a balance is to know when the introductory period ends. So usually they're going to give you 6 months to a year to pay off this balance. And if you don't pay the balance off before that introductory period ends, they can charge you all of the back interest on that entire balance for the entire year that you had that interest rate credit card available. So that is the biggest thing that you have to know. The best thing that I like to recommend is have a plan of how you're going to pay that balance back. Decide you're going to pay $250 a month, $150 a month, whatever it is, make a decision and make sure you pay it off every single month. The other thing is make sure that if you're expected to make a minimum payment per month, that you make that minimum payment. Sometimes they'll expect you to, and sometimes as long as you pay the balance off before the introductory rate expires, they don't care. The best thing to do is read the back of the credit card statement and make sure you know what the rules are for those convenience checks. Just because the convenience checks come 3 to a page, it doesn't mean every single check has the same type of offer. One might have 6 months, one might have 12 months, one might just be a regular old convenience check. So it's important to read the check and to know exactly what product you're using. When you use your convenience checks, you're going to get charged usually between a 3 and 5% transaction fee. And that is going to be added to the balance, and it's part of the balance that you need to pay off. Almost all do that in one way or the other. You might also have a $25 transaction fee. You might have a $25 transfer fee for that matter, and it can be as much as $75. So before you sign that check, make sure that you know what all those other fees could be. So this is one thing that I've seen a lot of people do, unfortunately. They'll write one of the convenience checks for more than their cash advance amount. And so then you've gone over your cash advance limit. Just because you have an amount of a balance that you want to transfer, you need to make sure that that convenience check isn't any more than the allowable cash advance on that credit card. Or again, now you're going to incur an over limit fee. Plus, the company that issued you the convenience check may not honor that check, and so then you've got fees for an over limit fee, the fact that you used a check you shouldn't have used, and it's probably going to bounce with the other credit card company, creating even more of a snarled mess. A lot of times people think that it's a credit card, so I should be able to put more purchases on it, which is perfectly acceptable, but a lot of times the purchases are at a different rate than the actual convenience checks. So your purchases could be as much as 24.99%, while your cash advance is still in that 0% introductory period. Just make sure so that $30 blouse doesn't end up costing you $100 in interest. I always say, credit card companies will send you these checks every single month, especially if you've used one. They're like, well, if one's good, three's better. So if you're not going to use them, be sure to shred them right away. Those are just like cash, and you don't want them falling into the wrong hands. Shred them right away and get them out. The biggest thing to do, and it's the thing nobody ever does, is to read the back of your credit card statement and read the letter or the back of the check or the paperwork that the check comes with, and make sure you know all these gotchas. Make sure you know when your introductory rate's going to expire. Make sure you know what the interest rate will go up to. Make sure if you need to make a minimum payment every month. Make sure that you know if all of the interest is going to be added, or if it's only going to be the interest on whatever balance you don't pay off. Knowing all of those things will empower you and help you make the best decision possible. Banks are in business to rent money. They don't really sell it, they rent it to you, and interest is what you pay. And everybody's got to eat, it's perfectly fine, but you want to make sure that they're not eating steak while you're eating peanut butter. Again, I'm Michelle with the customer support team. If you have any questions, please give us drop us an email at yourassistant@moneystream.com. We love to hear from our users. It's the best part of our day. And make sure if you have any other questions, put them down in the comments. Bye.